Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United versus Manchester City, the derby, the real derby. Not that Poundland version the other night. Although I did enjoy it with Rooney and that, but this is the big game. And look, I describe this game as a bonus game. I'm coming into it quite optimistic actually. You can check out my combined 11. I've left a link in the video description for that. It'll be on That's Football later. 8 o'clock tonight on here live, of course. But Manchester United, bonus Man City. But it's interesting because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come out and said if we can beat City and beat Spurs, we've given ourselves a really good chance of that 4th spot. So I like this. Ollie. Look, you know, the Ollie outers are still Ollie outers, the Ollie inners are still Ollie inners. As I've said, I don't like the flip-flops. I like people who are Ollie out, Ollie in, and then those of us who are just saying, let's wait till May. I don't want to go, we beat Derby, Ollie in. We drew with Everton, Ollie out. I'm just going to say, look, let's just see what happens between now and May. Because remember, this time last year, we beat PSG. Rashford penalty, wedding night, you know what. And you've all seen the clip. And we wanted Ollie at the wheel. And we should have waited till May. So let's not make the same mistake again. Even if we win on Sunday, let's not all go, Ollie at the wheel, let's keep him at the job. Let's just wait till May like we should have done a year ago. And I'm happy to do that. And I think things are working well at the moment. And I like what Solskjaer said. If we beat City and Spurs, 6 points, we give ourselves a good chance of top 4. And we've just got to rotate well enough over the next few games, which I think is quite interesting because I think one of the things Ollie's not done this season is rotate well, and I think it's important that he does rotate well. You can see the team on the left-hand side there. There are some major injury concerns. Maguire turned his ankle on Wednesday. Ollie said, look, I don't know whether he's going to be back or not. The plan was to play him against Derby. And I think Maguire will play. I've got him in the team. I think he will play. I think Harry Maguire is the sort of player that, you know, rightly or wrongly, is a bit like a Rashford. We praise these people as running through brick walls. But actually, if you're not fit, Harry, probably don't play. We've got really big games, but I think Maguire's the sort of player, I'll do it. Oh, you've got a broken ankle. I'll still play. Yeah, have a rest. But I think that attitude means he will play. Interestingly, with Wan-Bissaka and Dan James, Ollie saying after the match last night that they haven't trained since the Everton game. Obviously, Dan James didn't play against Everton. Wan-Bissaka did. So they're not training today because it's the day of rest. Tomorrow is when United will train before the game on Sunday. I think there's a chance that Wan-Bissaka will be back. I don't think Dan James was going to start anyway. But again, the question is, if Wan-Bissaka's not trained all week, he trains tomorrow, you play him again on Sunday against Man City, against probably Raheem Sterling. I think maybe we just got to go without Wan-Bissaka. And some people would say, well, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to go without Wan-Bissaka? And I'm like, because to me, I think the game on Sunday is a bonus. I think it's great that Ollie's saying, if we win, we're in with a shout of top 4. But I think actually, even if we don't win, top 4 isn't gone because of the inconsistency of everybody else. It could be a significant weekend. Chelsea home to Everton, if they win that, that's significant. Arsenal home to West Ham, if they win that, they close up right behind us. Wolves at home to Norwich, if they win that, they move away from us. Even Spurs, if they win at Burnley, I think they go above us as well. So winning against Man City would be massive, but there is a big part of me that does feel that there's a bonus element to this. And I think, look, if Wan-Bissaka's a risk, if Harry Maguire's a risk, why take the risk in a game that's a bonus game? Man City are the favourites in this game. Let's not pretend that they're not. I think in a derby, anything can happen. We've beaten them at the Etihad in the League 2-1. We've beaten them at the Etihad in the Carabao Cup. They beat us here in the Carabao Cup. The margins have been quite close. We can win this game, and I'll go through why we can win this game and some very interesting stats about those last 3 games in a moment. But we can win this game because it's a Manchester derby at Old Trafford. But we're not the favourites to it. And I think we're already looking at if we don't win it, we've got to win at Spurs, and then we're probably back in a top 4 race again. So to me, it's not the be-all and end-all to risk players that could play in this game and then miss a month. So I wouldn't necessarily play Wan-Bissaka. I'm pretty sure we're going to play a back 5. I just want to bring something in here, though, that's very important. Jesse Lingard. There was a clip last night going around on social media about fans stood there with their phones, vilely swearing at him, telling him he's this, he's that, using swear words, the F word, etc. And this has resonated with a lot of United fans this morning, saying it's absolutely disgraceful. Interestingly enough, even some fans said, this is down to you, Mark, and the United Stand, because you drive this. I mean, look, do I tell people to go and film them? I mean, it takes a certain type of idiot to, after a match we've won, go and queue up and wait for the players to come out and film yourself swearing. I mean, this is premeditated. This is not reaction. I mean, I think if it's in the ground and Lingard's had a bad game and you've lost the game and someone shouts, Lingard, you're useless, I get that. I think even Jesse would get that. But standing outside it's premeditated idiot behaviour. And look, I will say things heat of the moment, of course I will, but afterwards I don't really mean it, but not to that extent. And look, ultimately, every fan's got their own opinion. Some people watch this channel and they're Ollie out, some people are Ollie in. Let's get real about this. Let's not act. I think the reason these things don't really get addressed is because nobody looks at the real cause. Let's not pretend our farts don't smell, because you've got a lot of people today saying, oh, you know what, the abuse of Jesse's a joke, and then you see the little bio, season ticket holder or whatever, and I think, what a liar. So you've sat there for the last year every time Jesse Lingard's played and gone, well, he's just a human being. He's living the dream, even though he's been absolutely crap. Criticism is fine. This is an entertainment business. Criticism is fine. Going standing there with your phone and swearing at the guy is a disgrace. It's about human levels, really, isn't it? It's about what you would go. If you're on social media saying Lingard was crap last night, why do we play him? No problem with that. If you're stood there filming yourself, swearing at him, I have got a problem with that. But having said that, Real Madrid fans, look what they did to Gareth Bale's car and stuff like that. It does happen. Luckily, it doesn't happen a lot in this country. But in relation to Lingard, I think the serious thing here is this. And I think, look, Flex spoke to Jesse over in Bruges because he had all the photographs with the players. He didn't have a photograph with Jesse because he felt that it was a bit contradictory to say Lingard's been crap this year and then stood there with a photo of him. I liked that from us because we don't want to be hypocrites, but Flex actually had a chat with Jesse and said, look, I know we get on your back a little bit, but it's just because we want you to do well. Because ultimately, that's what we want. I don't think people get it. People don't get it, do they? When you're criticising a United player, you're not doing it because you don't like them. You're doing it because you want them to be good, and they're not good. And I think this is where people get confused. Somebody swearing at a player, filming themselves doing it, that's abuse. That's, I don't like you, and that's abuse. Sitting there saying Lingard was crap last night, that's because he was crap last night and you want him to do well. And Flex said that, you know what, actually, Jesse took it on board. He was like, absolutely took it on board, the criticism. Luke Shaw said it as well, you got to take the criticism on board. It's when that line is crossed. In relation to Lingard, though, let's bring it back to the football because that's where it should be. Is it his fault that he's playing as bad as he is? I don't really actually think it is. I think this comes down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's the one who picks him. I said it last night. Remember when Ashley Young was playing and everyone used to get really fed up of Young? Well, he wasn't picking himself. He gets picked by Ollie or Mourinho. So Ollie has given Lingard too many chances. I mean, how many games is it since Lingard came out in December and said he'd been struggling with things off the pitch? Which I thought was a very brave thing to do. He got criticised for that though, didn't he? But, at least he's being honest about that. He comes out, he says, I'm struggling with things off the pitch. Ollie's approach was to keep playing him. That's clearly not worked. How many games has Lingard played since he came out and said he was struggling? This clearly is not helping him playing games, is it? It's not. It's making things worse. In fact, I think he's got worse since December. So Solskjaer needs to look at this. And look, Jesse Lingard has come out and said, I'm struggling, right? Ollie's kept playing him. Do you think Angel Gomez is not struggling? Jesse Lingard has played for England in a World Cup semi-final. He's got his own clothing brand. He's a multi-millionaire playing for Manchester United. If he leaves United in the summer, he'll go and play somewhere else. Angel Gomez has not got a career yet. He's just potential. He's not a multi-millionaire. He's not made his name in football. He's not even been given a chance. He's been frozen out because he won't sign a contract. So, when we're talking about the impact of players, look at the abuse Jesse Lingard gets for being crap on the pitch. Well, look at Angel Gomez not even being given a chance. I think the issue here is more Solskjaer. It's not Lingard. It's not Gomez. It's Solskjaer and his coaching staff. Why are you giving a player who's been consistently bad for a year chance after chance after chance, and yet we've got this young player that by all accounts is superb. Nicky Butt's spoken about him. Fantastic player. So we're deliberately freezing him out because he won't sign a contract. If you play him, you might realise he's worth the contract that he wants. It's ridiculous. So let's not get violins out and start saying, let's all feel sorry for one player when another player's being treated badly. And ultimately, what happened on that phone last night was a disgrace. But ultimately, Solskjaer keeps picking him. Solskjaer keeps putting him in this position. If it's raining, stop walking out without an umbrella, Ollie. He's not good enough. I feel that with Lingard, we are carrying him at the moment. It's like having 10 men. When you used to play football and you're beating a team 10-0, I did play in a good team, and there's the crap player on the pitch that you want to score. So you're virtually trying to pass it to them on the line to score, and then they do score, and everyone goes great because everyone's scored. It feels like we're trying to do that with Lingard, and I think it's disrespectful to Lingard. It's disrespectful, definitely, because he should be in the team because he's good enough, not because we're trying to get him through a bad patch. But look, I don't have a problem with people saying that Lingard was crap last night. I said it. And I think Lingard knows it himself, he was crap last night. I do have a problem with the abuse. It's not fair. It's not right. And it's not how we want to conduct ourselves, not just as United fans, but football fans in general. I don't want to see that in this country. I don't want to see Arsenal doing it. I don't want to see Spurs doing it. I don't want to see that. It's just not. And it's premeditated. And to be honest with you, someone said it's United fans. I'm not even convinced it is. Remember what happened with Solskjaer last year? The Arsenal fan who pretended to be a United fan, who put the hand out and then took it away or something like that. Or said sacked in the morning. Fans of other clubs, and they don't even need to be fans of other clubs. It could be, I could get a ticket to go and watch a game tomorrow, Arsenal, put an Arsenal shirt on. People obviously might know who I am, unfortunately. But you know what I mean? I could just turn up and pretend to be an Arsenal fan, stood there with Aubameyang and go, Aubameyang, you're absolutely shite, and film it. And then go, oh, look at Arsenal fans. Oh, it's easy to stage this sort of stuff. So, it's a shame it gets the airtime that it does. But look, interestingly, Manchester United, Manchester City, where do I think this is going to go? This is really interesting statistically, because I think we're going to play a back five. I think the reason Williams didn't play last night when I thought he was nailed on to play is because he'll play against City, but you can't drop Shaw. So I think we're going to play with a back five. If Maguire's not fit, it'll be Lindelof and Bailly. Dalot will have to play if Wan-Bissaka doesn't play. Matic definitely comes back in. I'll talk about why in a minute. Fred's got to play. Bruno's got to play. Martial's got to play. So I think McTominay drops to the bench. And Ighalo, I think, should start. I think Ighalo and Martial, I like that team. I don't like the 5-3-2, but I like that team. But we struggle at the moment to play a 4-2-3-1 because who's going to play on the right and who's going to play on the left? With Dan James injured and Rashford injured, we haven't got any width. The other option is to play a 4-2-3-1. Obviously, your back four takes care of itself. Your two midfielders, again, would probably be Matic and Fred, Bruno, and then put Martial on the left, Ighalo central, and maybe Greenwood off the right. That is an option. I think he'll go with the back five, but actually, I think he should go with the 4-2-3-1 and actually put, maybe don't play Williams, play Shaw at left back, flat back four, Martial on the left, Greenwood off the right, Ighalo down the middle. And the reason I would do that is if when you look at the last three games, and the great thing about playing City this year is we've played them a lot, so we know how games have worked. The first game against Manchester City at the Etihad in December, which we won 2-1, we played a 4-2-3-1. And they had 72% possession, we had 28% possession, but we had 11 shots on goal. They had 23, but we had 11 shots on goal. That's the most shots on goal we've had against Man City this season. We had 11 shots, 7 of which were on target. The second game at Old Trafford, where we lost 3-1, was we played a 4-2-3-1. City had 15 shots, 5 on target. We had 8 shots, 3 on target. So it dropped drastically. But that was a game where we had no Martial. We had no Maguire, he was injured. No Luke Shaw either. And we started Pereira and Phil Jones. Matic came on at half-time, they didn't score. So it was a weakened United team. And then the third game at the Etihad, we did play a back five. We only had 2 shots on goal in that game. We won, but we only had 2 shots on goal. And I think that was the worst performance of the 3. It was just one of those games. They'd already won it, hadn't we? So I think the most success we've had against City this season has been the 4-2-3-1. Shield the back four with the 2 midfielders, but have enough players on the break. And I think with the 5-3-2, I don't think we've got enough going forward. The interesting thing is, this is going to be the first game we've got Bruno against Man City. And maybe Man City don't have De Bruyne. I think United will get a draw on Sunday. I can see it being a 1-1 draw. I think we'll defend well. I think we can cause them problems on the break. I think defensively City are vulnerable. It's a Manchester derby. I think we can get a draw out of this game. We could win it. We could lose it. What we don't want to do is get beat 3 or 4-0 again. We don't want to see that. And I don't think we will see that. I think we've turned a corner from that. So it's a bonus game in my opinion. I think we can get a draw. A draw's not what we need, having drawn at Everton. We do need to win, but it's a very, very difficult game for United. And my main concern now is away from this game, and how can you move away from a Manchester derby? My main concern at the moment is injuries. Ollie's got to start rotating this squad, but he almost doesn't want to rotate it. He went very strong against Derby when you look at it, really. He's going to go strong against Man City. He's got to go strong in the Europa League. He's then got to go strong against Spurs away. Back strong in the Europa League. FA Cup quarter-final, probably be going quite strong at Norwich. So Where is the rotation going to happen? And can he trust these players? Andreas Pereira, can he be trusted? Lingard, can he be trusted? Juan Mata does well, but where are you going to use Mata? You can't use him away at Spurs. You can't use him away at Man City. Maybe the Europa League. We are going to need a bit of squad rotation. And interestingly enough, what I did see from Bruno Fernandes against Spurs last night was a bit of frustration as well. The pointing here, wanting the ball back. Football intelligence is something that Bruno will get frustrated with at United. The give and goes. We saw it with McTominay. He gives it to McTominay. He's just got to give it him back and Bruno gets the shot. McTominay tries the speculative shot and it goes wide. Those give and goes. This is why Mata's having a renaissance. He's not really having a renaissance because he's old. We can't get Juan Mata back. We can't get the quicker, fitter Juan Mata back. He's not. He's on the decline. But what Mata has got is football intelligence, and Bruno and Mata link up well because they've got a very high football IQ. Unfortunately, only Martial in that team at the moment has a football IQ in relation to little flicks, little 1-2s and everything like that. We don't have players with a football IQ. Igalo's not got a football IQ in relation to build-up play. He's a goal scorer, that's fine. Dan James hasn't got a football IQ when he's fit, that's been proven. McTominay, even Fred, for a Brazilian, hasn't got it. Pereira, I can't believe he's got Brazilian roots. I really don't. Lingard's not got it. So we've got to get more players around Bruno with a football IQ, and I think Pogba coming back will be key to that. But he is starting to get frustrated, but I like that frustration from Bruno because we haven't had that. We haven't seen players getting frustrated in a footballing sense. We've seen people getting frustrated because passes are going astray, but Bruno's getting frustrated about things we're not used to people getting frustrated about. He's getting frustrated because he's not getting the ball back. He's getting frustrated because people aren't making runs. We've never seen that in this United team because we haven't had that level of football intelligence. So real bonus. And it's interesting what difference Bruno will make against Man City at the weekend. If we defend well, I think we can score. We could nick it. We could win it 1-0. We could get a draw. I think if we lose, it's going to be hard to take. I think a draw, take it and let's see what happens. If we win, I tell you what, the confidence we'll get from that will be absolutely fantastic. But look, we're live again at 8 o'clock tonight. Ollie said that 6 points from the next 2 games would be fantastic and get us in the top 4 race. I think that's ambitious. How many points do you think we're going to take from Man City at home and Spurs away? I think if we get 4, I'd be very happy. If we get 6, ecstatic. 3, it's probably not good enough. Anything less than that and we're in trouble. So very interesting to be judging a 2-point game. But remember, not the 5th of November. Remember, Ollie was going to get sacked at the start of December. We had Mourinho coming to Old Trafford and we were going to the Etihad. And everyone was like, he's going to get sacked next week, definitely. He won both games. He's got them back-to-back again. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? Very exciting indeed. I've got a combined 11 coming up on That's Football this afternoon. I'll drop the link in the video description for you to subscribe or get your notifications on for that one. And we'll be live at 8 o'clock tonight. Thanks everyone for watching. Very exciting weekend coming up. Which way do you think it's going to go? Get your comments in below about everything we've discussed. And yeah, formation. What do you think? How many points out of the next 6? The Lingard scenario. Lots to discuss. I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching.